Guess who still hasn't gotten a haircut? This girl. It's been a long time. I'm gonna make a video titled, "What is hair growing addiction like?" Just kidding, I stole that joke from CG Kid. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about that one time that I was burdened with magical mushrooms. But before we get into it, I just want to say, this is a time in my life where I was 18 years old. I am now 30. I know, I'm a baby-faced 30-year-old, but I am now 30 and I am so far removed from the unpredictable, crazy lifestyle that I used to live. So this video is just to entertain you guys with a story from my youth. And it's also a crazy one. It is one that I have not talked about in a very long time. There's gonna be crazy story time videos popping up on my channel in the next few days or weeks or months, or who even knows at this point, because your girl's tired. But anyway, without further ado, let's kick this thing off. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, lived a very crazy person named Jessica. So one time when I was 18 years old, this is a time in my life, and there's stories with this as well. My whole life is a YouTube video, but I was working as a CNA in a nursing home in upstate New York, and I was trying very hard to be sober. I was trying very hard. So I probably only had a couple of months sober, and you know, I have to tell more stories about the whole year I was 18. It was a crazy time in my life, and it was a very difficult time in my life. So I definitely will share more about that year, my 18th year on earth. It's not a good one. And you know, as this channel progresses, I am getting more comfortable to share stories like ones that I've kind of been avoiding, but I will share any story if it means that someone out there feels less alone. So, you know, we're gonna have a lot of crazy stories popping up on this channel this year. I think I already said that, but back to the story. So I was trying to be sober. I was working as a CNA, and I got a call from someone very close to me. I will not say the relationship of this person because I don't want them to see this and get pissed off. So a person that I knew my whole life called me and was like, "Jess, you need to come over. You need to come over right now and get some shrooms." And I was like, I don't even do them. And he very quickly was like, "So can you be here in an hour?" And I'm like, oh my God, I mean, I guess I'll do him a favor and I'll buy some. But to me, I'm thinking like an ounce. I don't know, like the normal amount that you would buy. So I'm thinking I will go there and just buy an ounce from him to help him out. He sounded kind of panicked. I don't know what is going on, and because I was really close with this person, I'm like, I have to go at least go see. If I don't buy something, I have to at least go check on him and see if he's okay. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe I'll buy an ounce to help. Like I said, 18-year-old Jessica, naive Jessica, foolish Jessica is like, yeah, of course I'll come right over. You sound insane. So I'll be right there. I walked up to his apartment door, and he lived on the top floor of this apartment. I opened the door to like the entryway to get up to the apartments, and I immediately smelled shrooms. Immediately. You know the smell. You know the smell. So I was like, oh my fuck, what is happening? And I get up to his door, I knock on it for half a knock, and he's like ripping open the door. He pulled me in, closed the door, locked all 3 locks behind me, and said, "All right, so just take those 2 bags right there." You guys, they were fucking garbage bags full of shrooms. And I was like, hold up, homeboy. Garbage, are you insane? I can't take 2 garbage, I walked here. I can't take 2 garbage bags full of shrooms. I can't walk them down the street. What are you doing? What are you even talking about? I thought I'd maybe take like an ounce off your hands. He is pouring in sweat. He is obviously high, and he's obviously like in need of probably medical care, but I'm 18, I don't know. So I was like, I walked here. I can't just take 2 garbage bags full of overflowing mushrooms out of your apartment, walk back to my apartment. Like, so now I am just like really worried about his state of mind, and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't have a market for this. That was not my bag. I didn't know anything about hallucinogenics. I didn't know anything about acid. I didn't know anything about shrooms. I just knew that people close to me liked them. I did not. I was never a fan of those. I didn't like how they made me feel. I do have stories of me using acid and what that was like for me and how awful I felt, and that also took place when I was 18 years old. So there's a lot of stuff to cover. Anyway, I was like, listen, just to help you out, I will take one garbage bag. Now, because this is not my bag, I don't know anyone that even wants to do these. I am in a full-blown panic of trying to get rid of them. At this point, I'm not thinking I'm going to sell them. I'm thinking I have to give them to somebody, because who on earth is gonna want these from me? You know, it's like 10 o'clock at night. I don't want to take these to my apartment. I don't want them near me. So I'm making a bunch of calls and I'm like, listen, I just need someone to take this off my hands. And I call a bunch of people and they call their people and some other people call people, and then I get a call back from someone and they're like, yo, I'll come pick them up for you. So I was able to find a person that wanted them. I was not interested in making money. I just wanted them away from me, and I wanted less at this person's house just to help him out, because he's going crazy. He sees that this is just out of control. And I forgot to mention this. In the back bedroom, there was like 5 or 6 more garbage bags full of shrooms. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how he got that many. I don't even know what happened. And these are questions that you don't ask. So I didn't ask really crucial questions here, questions that I should have asked. Where did all this shit come from? What do you expect me to do with it? Are you okay? What can I do to help you get all of this out of here? I didn't ask that. He was asking me to take 2 garbage bags full. I took 1, and I was really just kind of stressed out. And because of our close relationship, I just did it without asking any questions. And that was kind of how I approached a lot of things in my past. I would do things without asking questions. I didn't want to interrogate my friends or interrogate people that were close to me. I wanted to help them, and I wanted to do everything that I could to establish myself in that world. You know, I wanted to be known as loyal, honest, trustworthy. And I know that sounds crazy to want those labels on you in that world, but my reputation meant a lot to me in that world, and that's so naive because I put myself in harm's way trying to get these shrooms out of this guy's house, and I didn't even think it through. So anyway, I finally got someone to take them off of my hands. It took hours. It took probably 4 or 5 hours. Now keep in mind, I am in a small town in upstate New York. There's not an overly saturated market for shrooms in my hometown. So it's like 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, oh my God, thank God I got rid of these. That's awesome. So I called back the guy that had given me the garbage bag full of shrooms, and I was like, okay, I got rid of that one. Are you okay? That was really hard for me to do. I don't think I can take any more. And he was like, I got it worked out. I got it worked out. Completely panicked. Just in case anyone is wondering, this person is very fine. He's okay. He's healthy. Everything's fine. So I went back to my apartment, and my friend was there, and she had gotten shrooms from another friend. So I go home thinking I never have to see another shroom again. Everything's good. I got rid of a garbage bag full. I don't have to deal with this. I'm good. I can go home and I can go to bed, because I had to go to work the next day. So I walk in my apartment, and my friend is there, and another person that I'm really close with was there, and he had given her shrooms. They were both high on shrooms, and I was like, oh my, I thought I just escaped this situation. I thought I handled a situation. I thought I could move on and go home and go to sleep. But now my friend, that is a female, she is sitting in a chair in the living room, and she's looking out to the street that I lived on, and I had these 2 windows. They were floor to ceiling windows, so I had floor to ceiling curtains. They were suede and they were red. Well, she was just kind of sitting in the chair looking out the window. And after about 10 minutes of that, the curtain started to sway a little bit because the air came on, and we had like vents, not vents, I don't know what it's called. The air thingies around the apartment came on, and the curtains were like moving like this. So she was really freaked out, and she said, the curtains are breathing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I don't want to babysit you. So I'm like, just turn around, just face this way. Here, I'll even move the TV for you so you don't even have to look anywhere near the curtains. So I moved this little entertainment center that I had, wasn't anything big, and I put the TV on so she didn't have to face the curtains. And now the guy that is there, very close person with me, they have keys to my house, they're close to me. he is just laughing. He's laughing at everything that I say. He's not being serious. I'm just like really tired and annoyed at this point. So mid him laughing, my friend that's a girl, she looked over at my computer screen and there was like a blood red sunset on the computer screen, and she was so freaked out apparently now by the color red. The red suede curtains and the red thing, and she's like, there's so much red, and it like really made her trip badly, and she was like panicking and freaking out. The guy that's in my house is dying laughing at this, and I'm just like, now I have to babysit someone who is laughing like a hyena. I have to babysit someone that's afraid of curtains, and I don't even know what to do. I'm so tired. So eventually they calmed down and I was actually able to go to sleep, and the very next day I was giving them a ride to someone else's house and we got pulled over. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm fine. I'm on paper, but it's okay because I don't have anything on me. So I go to get my registration out of the glove box, and the guy that had stayed the night at my house, he said, I have shrooms in my pocket. And I'm like, what? Why? So now I am really freaked out. I'm really freaked out. Now we're getting pulled over. I just can't escape these shrooms. They're just following me everywhere. Now I'm freaked out because I'm on paper. Even though these shrooms were not in my pocket, they're in my car. So I was just really concerned because I was on paper at that time. I was concerned that my parole officer was going to know that I was with someone that had shrooms. That would have been a violation, and it just would have been all bad for me. So the officer comes up to the window. I give him my license and registration, and I said, can I ask why you pulled me over? And he said, you didn't use your turning signal on that turn. And I'm like, I had known this officer and I thought that he was just pulling me over to mess with me. So I am just like almost shaking, but I'm trying so hard to stay as calm as I can. He said, give me a second. I'm looking out the mirrors. I'm like, no one move. I'm looking out in the rearview mirror to see if he is gonna call another officer, if canines are gonna show up, and a second car didn't show up. Canine units didn't show up. That is very unusual for a Jessica Kent pullover. So it's very unusual, and I'm just like waiting. I'm waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting for another car to show up. I'm waiting for him to come back and say, I'm gonna call your parole officer. I'm waiting for a canine unit to show up. It doesn't happen. He comes back and he said, just remember to use your turning signal. And I'm like, what? What? You've got to be kidding. That's never happened to me. That's never happened. He just let me go. He just let me go. So I dropped off my two friends and I went to work, and I was like completely panicked at this point. You know, even though I got away with that, I was just so worried, and my life was so unpredictable like that. So being on parole, trying not to be an addict, trying not to use, while still having a foot in that life, ended up getting me pulled completely back into that world. And I ended up selling and using and overdosing, and no matter how hard I tried, I could not get out of that lifestyle. I could not get out of that world. It took me going 1,300 miles away, New York to Arkansas, getting on meth, going to prison in Arkansas pregnant. It took me having a baby in prison to actually get my head straight and to realize that I can do this on my own. I need to leave anyone and everyone else behind because they don't have my best interest at heart, and the only way that I can ever help people in my life is if I get myself right. And I just kind of want to close today's video with this. You know when you're on an airplane and the stewardess is always like, make sure that your air mask is secure before you help someone else? It sounds selfish, but you guys, you can't help someone else with their sobriety if you are still using, or if you are just barely into your sobriety. You have to have a good foundation, and I don't think that helping addicts is for everyone that has gotten sober. Reese doesn't really have a passion for helping addicts the same way that I do, and that's okay. We're all different. Everyone's journey and everyone's path to sobriety is different, but you can't help someone else until you are okay. And it's not selfish in a bad way to build your life and to be successful outside of that negative world. There is nothing wrong with looking out for yourself, doing what's right for you, and leaving toxic people in your past. I don't care if they're family, I don't care if they're close friends. Toxic is toxic, and we're leaving toxic in 2019, you guys. So I love you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this story time and took something from it. Stay safe, stay sober. Don't break the law or take garbage bags full of shrooms because someone asked you to. Think things through, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.